Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to spend a little time with me on the video today. Always appreciate that. And guys, today I've got the video everybody's been asking about doing this video. So probably in the comment section I've had over the past 3 or 4 months, this has probably been the #1 suggestion for a video that I've had to do. So we're gonna get into that in today's video. I think you guys are gonna really enjoy it by the time everything's over with on the video here. Also, guys, got 2 quick housekeeping tips before we get started. I just want to remind you that Tackle Warehouse just got another big order back in of my Blaukat throwback jigs. If you guys are interested in ordering some, I'll put the Tackle Warehouse Blaukat throwback jig by Cumberland Pro Lures in there. Got 6 different colors, 3 different sizes in there right now. They've been selling out like the first day or a day and a half they get them in there. So if you guys would like to get you some, link in the description. And also please check out our new Fish of the Moment lake map breakdowns. I'll put the links in the description for the Fish of the Moment lake map breakdowns that I built for Fish of the Moment. So much appreciated on that. Okay guys, about 3 months ago, I did a video on jigs and spinnerbaits, and I was talking about tying my own skirts. And I had a ton of people ask, like, Randy, where do you get the skirt tying material? How do you tie a skirt? Can you talk a little bit about skirt tying? Guys, so what we're gonna do in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys what I consider the most important box in my boat that I put in my boat, and that's my skirt tying kit. This is simple and easy to do. I've been doing it for close to 30 years, and there's without a doubt the money that I have won in tournaments. I've won almost $2 million in bass fishing tournaments since I started, and I can promise you that probably, close to half of that has come on custom-made skirts that I built myself for like jigs, spinnerbaits, buzz baits, anything that requires a skirt. So I'm gonna show you the skirt box, then I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna give you a demonstration how easy it is to tie your own skirt. So we're gonna get into that in the video. So I'm gonna turn the camera around here for a second, show you the box, then we'll get into tying ones. Okay guys, here is the box right here that goes in my boat every day. I don't care if I'm fishing a tournament or whatever. This box goes in my boat every single day. And this is my skirt tying tip. These are all what are called skirt layers, and I'll open some of these up, but they're all different colors. These are silicone layered skirts. I do have some live rubber in here that I tie with, but it's a variety of different colors. And that's the cool thing about it, is these skirt materials like this, they're made in any color that you could possibly want. I mean, for jig, for spinnerbait, just whatever, different type of finishes to them. Here's a barbed wire finish. I've actually got some old live rubber skirts there too. But just, you can see here how many I've got. I've got just like a rainbow of different colors. And guys, I use all these. It's like every single one of them here is used based upon the application that I want to use as far as matching the water clarities, sunlight conditions. Now what I want to do here is I sort of want to show you how the box looks here, and I'm going to show you guys how to tie a skirt really quickly and sort of what I do with it. Okay guys, I got all my skirt tying materials laid out here. I've got my tools and everything, and I'm going to put together a couple skirts to show you how easy it is. Also guys, before we get started here, all this stuff I'm talking about here today, the skirt tying materials, the layers, the tools, everything you need, Tackle Warehouse has got everything you need. I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link in the description, and I'll link all this stuff. So if you guys would like to get you started and get you set up in a kit, they can do it there. And using that link's a good way to help the channel out here, so we can get started in that. But a couple different considerations. First, before you get into tying a skirt, use your imagination and creativity. That is the big deal, because so many skirt colors out there, like everybody knows about like a white and chartreuse spinnerbait skirt or a black and blue jig. There are some basic color combinations that everybody uses, and they're effective. But the thing that I have found out, and this is the magic behind a skirt tying kit, is you can match the conditions, or you can match your skirt color exactly to the conditions you have for that day of fishing. So when you're out on the water, you can look at the water clarity, the sunlight condition, the light intensity, everything with that, and you can mix and match these skirts to basically put together the perfect looking colored skirt. That's why I love it so much, because literally I've got like 75 different skirt colors in here that I can mix and match with. And a couple of different considerations we'll get into. There's some nuances to tying a skirt that I really want to share with y'all here today. It's a simple technique, but there's a lot of stuff that I've sort of learned over doing it for 30 years And I've developed some techniques and some things that work really good for me that I'm going to show you guys here. Excuse me. Okay, guys, first of all, you got your skirt your skirt collars here. Now, I use two different kinds. I use a clear color like this for like any type of a light colored spinnerbait, like a shad color, and then the darker ones I'll use for like the, you know, black and blues, green pumpkins, that type of stuff. So I try to sort of match them with that. And then you've got your skirt tying tool here. This one I've got right here, guys. This thing is like probably 35 years old. I've had it forever. Paint's completely wore off it, and it had a little clip there that I lost, but this is mine. But there's a lot more modern ones. You can look in that Tackle Warehouse site, but you need some type of a tool like this. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do, excuse me, I'm congested this morning. I'm gonna tie you guys up a spinnerbait skirt. I'm gonna sort of explain to you the conditions with this. Now, what you have with it is most people tie with two different layers. They tie a spinnerbait made out of two layers like this. This is a traditional spinnerbait skirt, but most of the time, for my skirts, I like 2.5 layers. That adds a little bit more body to it. So I'll take 2 full layers like this. We'll tie up one of my favorite colors here. And then I'll take another layer and I'll break it in half like that. So therefore, in this particular skirt, it's going to be a 3-colored skirt. Another thing that you want to make sure is your accent color, whatever your half layer is. I like to put it on the outside, which makes it a little bit more pronounced. So in other words, when you're putting your 3 layers of skirts together like this, you know, I've got the blue on the outside, or say for example, if I'm tying a black and blue jig, I'll do the same thing with the blue. I'll put it on the outside. So put your skirts, line your skirt colors up together like that. That's the first thing. Next thing you have to do is you got your skirt tying pliers here, and then you slip your collar over it, over the end of it. Like I said, this is just the one I use. There's a bunch of different ones, and that opens it up in order for you to get that in there like that. All of them are a little bit different. And then you take your 3 layers here, hold them together like that. You're going to open your skirt up, and you're going to insert that in there like that. Mine fell apart there. That's another thing about this, guys, is you got to get them laid together just perfectly, because if you don't, they won't go inside your tool very good. So you got to sort of mess around with that a little bit. And I usually grab a hold of it with my teeth. You'll learn to use your teeth and everything both. Now this is another thing, guys, is when you're putting the skirt on like this, don't pull your collar to the complete middle of the skirt like that. I usually go like 1/4 of a way. I'll just pull that out of there and I'll show you what I mean here. So in other words, I've got my collar is not centered in the middle there. And the reason you do that, I'll show you here in the middle in a second why that works. Now, the next thing you do on these skirt collars, you know, they got it tied in, so you have to cut the ends of them off, and this is going to flare them out. Just cut them right back to about probably, you know, 1/2 inch or so. And then once you get your skirt, you make sure they're all loose and they're not tied together. Now see, this is the way it looks right here, how far it is up there. And the reason you want this is when you flip the skirt around, it creates a fuller look. So I'll put this on the spinnerbait here and I'll show you what it looks like. Pull it up like that. Got my skirt on, and the next thing I do, I usually pull some of the layers up a little bit because I want to make the layers uneven and I want some to hang down a little bit further. So I got it like that, squared away. There's my spinnerbait skirt. Saw how long that takes it there. And this is sort of this particular one is sort of like a translucent chartreuse and blue. Nice little skirt, something you really can't buy in the store. You can just mix and match them like that. Okay, so next, let me tie you up a jig skirt so it sort of show you the difference here with it. Now the jig skirt's the same way. I'll usually have two primary colors like that. And when I'm tying up my skirts, like with the jigs and chatterbaits and stuff, a lot of times I'll use one type of a barbed wire color and then another silicone piece. And like I said, most of the time I use the live rubber like with my Blaukat throwback jig, but I do like silicone in like a really clear water situation, say if the water visibility is over 5 feet. And also I do like silicone on my chatterbait. So I'd probably tie more chatterbait skirts than I do anything else with this. But I've got my two primaries there, and then I'll have my secondary, which in this case is orange. And again, we're gonna take the orange in half. And also guys, with the primary colors here, if you want more of a primary color, sometimes I'll put 3 full strands in there. It just depends on the look that you want. You can just mix them and match them up a little bit. Get my collar here. Of course, I'm gonna go with the black on this one. And it helps, like I said, if you don't have to wear reading glasses, it's a lot easier to do this. It's a pretty fine work. So I got my black there. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is I've got my 2 different layers here. I'm gonna string them up. Also guys, when you pinch them together, make sure they're perfectly straight because they're gonna go on a lot easier. And I'll have my secondary orange in here. And this thing right here, it's a little bit harder than what it looks when you're trying to pull this stuff through here. A lot of times it doesn't want to go through really easy. So it looks like I'm, struggling with it a little bit occasionally, you'll find out when you start doing it. It's got to go through there just perfectly in order to get in it. Pull that through there. Another thing with that is some of the skirt tying tools that you got, they'll open them up a little bit more than others will. But you really got to just sort of get them through there the best you can. Come through the same way, 1/4 of an inch like that. Got that, I'm gonna trim it up. Also guys, when you're cutting them off like this, you might want to go a little bit slower because that keeps them from sticking together sometimes. So there is a nice sort of a green pumpkin and orange type of a skirt that goes on the jig good. Let me tie a jig up here real quick and I'll show you what that looks like. Let me just grab the old jig head here. I'll sort of show you what the color looks like in that. And also with that is you can trim these skirts and you can modify the skirt length on it based upon the trailer that you're using. Let's put the head on real quick. So there's my silicone jig skirt. And again, like I said, you can pull it up. You can make it a little bit longer based upon how you want it there. Make sure that when you're pulling it on there, you sort of have to, use your hands and sort of make it where it goes around the jig equally. So that gives you a nice little colored jig skirt there. But anyway, guys, you get the idea there. It's sort of fun. I mean, it's sort of like a little art project a little bit. And once you get used to this and once you start doing it, you get quicker and quicker. I mean, as far as your motor skills get a little bit quicker. And the confidence level that you get from this is off the chart because if you pick out 50 or 60 different type of skirt layers and you come up with a color yourself, you mix it and match it, you know that a lot of people the fish have never seen it. It doesn't matter if you're throwing a buzz bait, a spinner bait, a chatterbait, a jig, anything like that, swim jig, anything that requires a skirt, you can come up with some options that are not available in the retail stores, and it makes a big difference sometimes. So anyway, guys, that's one of the biggest piece of advice I can give you all. Get good at skirt tying, get your skirt tying kit set up. Like I said, I'll put everything in the Tackle Warehouse description here, and just start doing it, man. The amount of the amount of creativity involved in this that will help your fishing is just like something that I just can't explain to you how important it is and how much it's helped me out. So anyway, guys, give it a try. Hope it helps you guys catch a few. We'll talk later.